What is up, guys? Godzilla here, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Bandai Toho Kaiju series Orga. So yes, today's review is on the Bandai 6-inch Toho Kaiju series Orga. Now, I got this figure from Mike Johnson for $50 plus shipping, which is a really great deal. So, here's the figure, and I also got its tag, so I'm going to move it back and show that to you guys. Here we have G17, that's the I guess order it came out in the Toho Kaiju series. There's Orga right there. I imagine this here says Toho Kaiju series. That says Orga. There's a little Orga right there. Here's the back. Here's a nice image of Godzilla 2000. Godzilla 2000. There's Bandai logo down there. License sticker. Inside is just stuff I can't read. For sale only in Japan. No one cares. So I'll put that back there. And onto this figure. So I have to say that this is a really, really nice figure. Bandai's outdone themselves once again with their vinyl figures. This guy is so amazing. He is one of my favorite figures now. He's in my top 5, I would say. This guy has some spectacular detail all over his body. Starting off with his head. On the top, it's got this really nice pattern here. It's interesting, like Orga's an alien. Not an Orlean, but Orga is an alien. So he's going to have a lot of unique structures that we won't see on many Earth monsters. Here's the side of his head. Again, very detailed. Here is a head-on view. The other side. Here's under, which isn't quite as detailed, but they still put some effort into it, which looks great. His teeth, there they are. They are individually sculpted, which is something we don't get on many Bandai figures. Now, the inside of his mouth is also actually detailed, so that's an excellent touch on Bandai's part. Here's his back. All sorts of intricate patterns in there, different gaps and stuff. Just so much work and attention to detail was put into this figure. Here's sort of like, here's a finer texture down in the stomach area. There's that, as you can see, it's like a weird almost ribcage shape, but it's very detailed. And then down in the crotch area there's a lot more detailing. Moving down, here's these black flap things, which look kind of interesting, but they're really well detailed either way. Here's his back, like the back. Again, very detailed in these things. I really don't know what to call this stuff. The tail looks really nice. I love how they put all those different dips and stuff, I guess, in there. And the end of the tail looks great. One thing about this figure is that its underside is detailed too. There's the bottom of its tail. More detail. Here's the whole Bandai 1999, made in China, all that stuff. This area right here by the legs is interesting, I guess. I'm not sure what it is. The legs themselves look very rock-like. Still detailed. And onto the toenails. Now these are actually perfectly detailed, I think. As you can see, they have little lines going through them to give them that sort of texture that any claw should. So excellent feature. Onto the arms. Nothing too special in like the bicep tricep area, but on the hands, the top, those are extremely detailed. Love the detail in these. Fingers are a little more smooth, but just like in the feet, the claws have great detailing. As you can see, lots of lines and stuff. Very, very well done. Quick thing to note, also, here is his shoulder cannon, which is spectacularly detailed. I can't imagine that they would leave that out, but I'm glad that they put it in. Looks great. Another quick thing to note is that this line going through the back here isn't like articulation or anything, obviously. It's just, like, this figure is so huge they had to glue it together like this. So if you squeeze it, you can actually see inside because this guy's very soft vinyl. I'm not going to, though, because I don't want to hurt the figure. But you guys get the idea. This figure is extremely well detailed. So now I'll go ahead and go on to paint job. So he is mostly a sort of gray, silver, black all around. Primarily, I believe the vinyl is this sort of murky gray color, like right in here. My light is a little too bright, I'm sorry about that, but you can see that right there. He has black highlights like in here, these gill-shaped things, and his shoulder cannons. These are painted all black actually, but a glossy black nonetheless. Let's see, where else? His hands are slightly highlighted black, which is cool. He also has many silver highlights. Here's a big one right here on the top of his head. As you can see, it goes all the way down the back and onto his tail, which looks really nice. His nails or claws also have it. They're shiny silver, especially on the feet. Looks phenomenal. His belly is more of just like a pale gray, sort of. And it does have nice transitioning here into the standard gray that the figure has. One of the more interesting thing that pops out about this figure is his head. It's like a metallic blue up here, which is interesting. A lot of people say that it comes from when Orga was like absorbing Godzilla, but personally, I look at this tag, Godzilla isn't in his mouth and he still looks kind of blue. I think it's just trying to recreate his nighttime appearance, but it would be cool. You know, if they were making him look like that, then why wouldn't he have spines on his back? So, also his teeth are sort of a bone white-ish. They look very good. Can't notice any sloppiness on the teeth. His eyes are plain yellow, sort of like Godzilla 2014. Or, no, not like that, but like the Bandai Creation figure of Godzilla 2014. The inside of his mouth is like red. I don't know how to describe it, but that's that. They also, like, I don't know if this is supposed to happen, either way it looks good, but the blue paint kind of gets inside the mouth a little bit, if you guys can see that right in there. I'm thinking they just took a spray paint thing and did it on the top of his head. I could be wrong. I don't know how Bandai does their stuff. But either way it looks good. I guess I'll move on to articulation. Now this guy has quite a bit of articulation, not that much. The arms can move like this, out and in. They're also very flexible, so you can like move them up, but I wouldn't do that because it's bad for the figure. The legs rotate quite a bit, but I believe the arms get in the way. This is for you people who care about moving your figure around. I personally prefer it so I can do stop motions if I ever do one with this guy. It'd be kind of hard because of the range that his arms have. And lastly, his tail rotates, which is cool. Again, like most figures, I don't see the need, but whatever floats your boat. So, other things about this figure as far as sculpt and detail and stuff, I already mentioned this thing on his back. Since this guy has such a unique shape, they had to, like I said, glue different parts together. You can kind of see that in the arm here. I don't know if this is on all figures, but they had to glue it together at that seam right there. And on this one right here, it's sort of not completely glued in. It's okay, you know, I mean, I don't really care that much. He still looks cool. The arm thing is just sort of a little inconvenience. So with that out of the way, I suppose I'll get into size comparisons. So I'll move him back here. I'll bring out his partner, the Bandai Toho Kaiju series 6-inch Godzilla 2000. This is one of my favorite figures. It actually is my favorite figure in my collection. You know, they aren't accurate. Orga should be about here to Godzilla, because they were close to the same size, but Orga just had a lot more mass. So this isn't quite accurate. Normally for figures, I'm usually a little generous, and I'll say that they look good together, they're just not accurate. In this case, they don't look that good together, honestly. Like, Godzilla's usually smaller than his enemies, and in this case, he's larger. So, nope. Now I'll get out the monster from the next movie that this guy, or at least this suit, fought. Megaguirus. So, I'm not sure if it's accurate. I mean, it definitely looks good. There's nothing too serious. Maybe Megaguirus should be a little bigger. I really don't know. They look good together. Now, I consider Orga, Megaguirus, and this Bandai Godzilla here to be like the Millennium Trio, sort of, because they're all three really good Bandai figures. This suit only appeared in 2 different movies, and these are the 2 monsters he fought. All 3 of these figures are relatively rare, so I think all these guys look really good together. Now, take those guys out, knocked over the tag. I'm going to talk about the inferior Bandai Creation Godzilla. This has the same problem as the Toho Kaiju Series 1. Doesn't look that good, especially when its foot's like all the way back. I guess it's okay here, but you can tell he's like hunched over. This figure doesn't look good either way, so I don't even know I'm talking about it. On to the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2000. This looks pretty good, actually. You just have to make Godzilla like sort of, well, not quite like that, but like hunched over, sort of. Not really, but that looks dumb. But it's better than the others, I'll give it that. So, yeah, there they are together. On to rarity and value. This guy has a pretty wide range of prices. I believe there's one for like $55 or so on eBay, $55. There's a lot out there for maybe $80, some are over $100, and this is eBay here. Again, I got mine for $50 plus 9 shipping from Mike Johnson. So, that's a good deal for this guy. I heard at G-Fest they go for like, $190 or so. Not 190, no. 100 or 90 or so. So, yeah, this guy is just, he's a rare, not rare, but he's a valuable one as far as the people price him at. Rarity, he's actually not that rare. You can find maybe 10 on eBay. There aren't too many at G-Fest from what I've heard from like Goji Franklin and Moose Duran, but he is definitely not as rare as, say, some of the theater exclusive figures. Overall thoughts, this is a fantastic figure. Even its minor details like this thing here in the arm seams, even those don't get in the way of the beauty of this figure. Its main problem, I would have to say, is scaling. He probably scales better with the Memorial Box Godzilla 2000, which I don't have. But either way, beautiful figure. I highly recommend you get him. I'm going to give this guy 5 out of 5. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you didn't enjoy this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Request more reviews in the comments down below. And I will see you guys on my next video.